So today we are going to start lesson 7. Which is about the two conjugate numbers. Okay. Two conjugate numbers means if there's a number like square root of a plus square root of b, so the conjugate for this number will be square root of a minus square root of b. So a number and its conjugate, the same numbers, but the only difference between them is the sign. So the middle sign, okay, is the only difference. So square root of a plus square root of b and square root of a minus square root of b are two conjugate numbers. So this means simply if there's a number like this, square root of 3 minus square root of 2. So if I want to get the conjugate for this one, so it will be square root of 3 plus square root of 2. Okay?
Okay.
One more example like that one. If there is a square root of 5 plus square root of 2. So the conjugate for this one will be square root of 5 minus square root of 2. So the only difference between the two numbers is the sign here in the middle. Okay? So the two numbers, square root of a plus square root of b and square root of a minus square root of b are two conjugate numbers. Okay, so there are two relations between the two conjugate numbers. How to get the sum of the two conjugate numbers, how to get the product of the two conjugate numbers. Okay, so here we said that square root of a plus square root of b and square root of a minus square root of b. So the sum of the two conjugate numbers equal. Here, guys, square root of a plus square root of b, the first one, square root of a plus square root of b plus square root of a minus square root of b. So this means it will equal square root of a plus square root of a to square root of a. And the other two terms, square root of b and minus, will equal 0, of course. So the sum equal to square root of a. Square root of a is the first term. So the sum here means twice the first. I mean the first term. Okay? So this is the sum of the two conjugate numbers. Then what about the product? Product of the two conjugate numbers, it will equal the first one, which is the square root of a plus the square root of b, times the second one, square root of a minus the square root of b. Here, two brackets with the with the same elements, and the difference here is in the middle sign. So do you still remember x plus y times x minus y? It's the same exactly. So this means the first to the power 2 minus the second to the power 2. Okay, so this means square root of a to the power 2 means a minus square root of b to the power 2 means b. So if there's two conjugate numbers like square root of a plus square root of b and square root of a minus square root of b, so the product will equal first squared minus second squared. So this means a minus b. Okay, let me solve one numerical example to explain that. If there is a number like this one, square root of 3 minus square root of 2, of course the conjugate will be square root of 3, but plus square root of 2. So the sum, we said that it's twice the first. First here, I mean the first term, square root of 3. So simply 2 square root of 3 is the sum. By using the steps, it will equal square root of 3 minus the square root of 2 plus square root of 3 plus square root of 2. So now, square root of 3 plus the square root of 3 is 2 square root of 3, and the negative square root of 2 and positive square root of 2 means 0. So actually, that's correct. It's twice the first. Then what about the product? The product will equal square root of 3 minus the square root of 2 times the square root of 3 plus the square root of 2. We said that it will be the first squared, square root of 3 squared, minus the second squared, square root of 2 squared. So square root of 3 squared will equal what? 3, of course, minus square root of 2 squared means 2. So 3 minus 2 equals 1. Okay, guys, are we clear to this point? Okay, let's solve this example, right? This number 4 over square root of 7 minus the square root of 3 and the simplest form. How to simplify this number? Actually, guys, to simplify this number, 4 over square root of 7 minus the square root of 3, we will multiply this number by the denominator's conjugate. So this means the denominators here is square root of 7 minus square root of 3. So I'm going to multiply this number by square root of 7 plus square root of 3 over square root of 7 plus square root of 3. So now 4 will be multiplied by these two terms, square root of 7 plus square root of 3 over these two expressions. To multiply them, a number and its conjugate. Okay, so the first squared means a 7 minus the second squared means a 3. So simply 4 times the square root of 7 plus the square root of 3 over 4. Now we can terminate 4 and 4, so simply this one will equal the square root of 7 plus the square root of 3. That's it. Okay. Okay, one more example. If x equal 4 over 2 minus the square root of 2 and y equal 3 minus 2 square root of 2 over 3 plus 2 square root of 2. Right? Each of x and y such that the denominator is a rational number. So this means the denominator is a rational number, or denominator is integer, or even simplify. Okay, we are going to solve using the same procedures or the same steps. Okay, so first simplify, then find x plus y. To solve this question, first we have to simplify x. So x equal 4 over 2 minus the square root of 2. To simplify this number, guys, I have to multiply this number by the denominator conjugate. So the conjugate of the denominator, the number is 2 minus the square root of 2. So the conjugate is 2 plus square root of 2 over 2 plus square root of 2. So always I'm multiplying the two numerators like that. Not to multiply 4 times 2 equal 8 plus 4 times the square root of 2. So it will equal 4 square root of 2. I will keep it like this. 4 times, then 1 bracket, 2 plus the square root of 2. Because always we will simplify this 4 on the numerator with the denominator. Now, two conjugate numbers on the denominator. So this means the first squared, so here 2. So 2 squared means 4 minus second squared, which is a square root of 2 to the power 2 means 2. So now it will equal 4 times 2 plus square root of 2 over 2. Simplify these two numbers, so it will equal 2 times 2 plus square root of 2, which means 2 times 2 means 4, plus 2 times square root of 2, so 2 square root of 2. So finally, x will equal 4 plus 4 plus 2 square root of 2. Then the same procedures with y. We have to simplify y. So I'm going to clear this one, x. We just wrote the final result. And then we will continue with y. So here y equals 3 minus 2 square root of 2 over 3 plus 2 square root of 2. Guys, I don't care about the numerator. I'm always multiplying by the denominator conjugate. So the denominator is 3 plus 2 square root of 2. So the conjugate will be 3 minus 2 square root of 2 over 3 minus 2 square root of 2. Now simply here, this one will be like that. 3 minus 2 square root of 2 times the 3 minus 2 square root of 2 over two conjugate numbers means the first squared means 9 minus second squared 2 square root of 2 to the power 2. So this means 2 is squared means 4 times square root also of 2 is to the power 2 means 2. So 4 times 2, 8. So 9 minus 8. Okay, so this means the denominator will become 1. So now it will equal the product of these two numbers, the 3 minus 2 square root of 2 times the 3 minus 2 square root of 2. Over 1, we will never write 1 on the denominator, no need. Okay, so now multiply these two numbers. First times the first, 9. Then the middle, it will be the product of means and the product of extremes. So this one will be negative 6 square root of 2. And the extremes, also negative 6 square root of 2. And then add the two values, negative 6 square root of 2 plus negative 6 square root of 2. So it will be negative 12 square root of 2. So now negative 12 square root of 2. Then the second term times the second term, two negative terms means plus. So 2 times 2 here equal 4. And the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 means 2. So 4 times 2 equal 8. So now y will equal 9 plus 8, 17, minus 12 square root of 2. So finally, here we got the value of y in the simplest form, 17 minus 12 square root of 2. What was the required in that question? The required on that question is to simplify x and y, or to make the denominator is integer, or even to make the denominator is a rational number, and then find x plus y. Now we got x in the simplest form, y in the simplest form. Then the next step is to add x and y. So I'm going to clear this part. So now x plus y will equal, get the value of x here, 4 plus 2 square root of 2, plus y, get the value of y, 17 minus 12 square root of 2. Now add or subtract the like terms, 4 plus 17, actually it's 21. Then 2 square root of 2 minus 12 square root of 2, so minus 10 square root of 2. That's it. Okay, guys, do we have any questions? One more question. Simplify the following number, or write the following number such that the denominator is a rational number. So 12 over square root of 6 minus square root of 2. As we said, guys, okay, if I want to change the denominator or to simplify this number, okay, so simply multiply the number by the denominator conjugate. So times the square root of 6 plus square root of 2 over square root of 6 plus the square root of 2. So it will equal 12 times square root of 6 plus the square root of 2 over first squared 6 minus second squared 2. So now 12 times square root of 6 plus the square root of 2 over 6 minus 2, 4. Now simplify 12 and 4, it will equal 3. So 3 times square root of 6 equal 3 square root of 6 plus 3 times, I just multiplied 3 by the 2 terms. And the 3 plus the square root of 2, so it's 3 square root of 2. That's it. One more example like that one exactly. But before we start to the next one, do we have any questions on this one?
No.
No.
Okay, great. Okay, so the next one, square root of 8 over 3 plus 2 square root of 2. Okay, it's the same procedure. Just multiply it by the denominator conjugate. So the number is 3 plus 2 square root of 2. So the conjugate is 3 minus 2 square root of 2. 3 minus 2 square root of 2. And here on the denominator, also 3 minus 2 square root of 2. So it will equal square root of 8 times the 3 minus 2 square root of 2 over first term squared means 9 minus second term squared, it's 2 square root of 2, like that, 2 square root of 2, all to the power of 2. So distribute the power. 2 squared means 4 times square root of 2 squared means 2, so 8. So 9 minus 8 equal 1. So the denominator will become 1. Okay, so simply this means it will equal square root of 8 times the 3 means the 3 square root of 8 minus square root of 8 times 2 square root of 2, so it will equal of 16. Okay, now square root of 8, guys, means it's a 3 square root of 8, 4 times 2 minus square root of 16 actually equal 4. So 2 times 4 means 8. Now square root of 4, this one outside the square root, it will equal 2 times that 3. So it will equal 6 square root of 2 minus 8. That's it. Okay, guys? Okay. The next question. If x equal 2 over a square root of 5 minus the square root of 3 and y equals square root of 5 minus the square root of 3. Okay, prove that x and y are conjugate numbers. Are conjugate numbers. Okay, and then find x squared plus 2xy plus y squared, and find also x squared plus xy plus y squared. How to solve this question? And such type of questions, guys, as usual, first we have to simplify x and y, and then do whatever you want. So first step, I'm going to simplify x and y. X, to simplify x here, so x will equal 2 over square root of 5 minus the square root of 3 times the conjugate of that denominator. So square root of 5 plus square root of 3 over square root of 5 plus square root of 3. So simply it will equal 2 times the square root of 5 plus square root of 3 over first squared, which is 5, minus second squared, which is 3. So now x will equal 2 times the square root of 5 plus the square root of 3 over 5 minus 3, 2. So now terminate 2 and 2, then it will equal square root of 5 plus square root of 3. So finally, x will equal square root of 5, square root of 5 plus square root of 3. Okay. The first requirement in this question is to prove that x and y are two conjugate numbers. So now x equals square root of 5 plus 3 and y is square root of 5 minus 3. So they are conjugate, of course. So this is the first requirement. Now the most important point is to find the second and the third requirement. X squared plus 2xy plus y squared and x squared plus xy plus y squared. Okay, I'm going to clear this part so that we can continue. Concentrate well, guys. In this part, here I want to get x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. Okay, of course, we can solve it like that. X squared, so get the value of the square of x plus 2xy, so multiply 2 times x times y. Then get the value of y squared again. But actually, it will be a very long procedures. As we studied before, all of us knows that this formula, x squared plus 2xy plus y squared, it's the same x plus y all to the power 2, correct? So now it becomes a very simple. So now x plus y to the power 2 means square root of 5 plus square root of 3 plus y, which is square root of 5 minus square root of 3, then all to the power 2. Now simplify the terms. Here is square root of 5 and the square root of 5, so 2 square root of 5, and this one square root of 3 minus, so it becomes 0. So it will equal 2 square root of 5 to the power of 2. Distribute the power on the two numbers. 2 squared means 4 times. Square root of 5 to the power 2 means 5, so it will equal 20. And just two simple steps like that. Not to get the the value of x squared first, then y squared, then 2 times x times y, then add all these terms one more time. It's a waste of time. Okay, so just we have to remember that x squared plus 2xy plus y squared will equal x plus y to the power 2. And that was the second requirement in this question. Okay, now the second part or the last part on the question. It's required here to get x squared plus xy plus y squared. Okay, guys, we just said that x plus y to the power 2 will equal what? We just mentioned that one. Okay, on the second part, it will be x squared. I mean x plus y to the power 2, all to the power 2. X squared plus 2xy plus y squared. But here in the question, I want to get x squared plus xy plus y squared. So x plus y to the power 2 equals this one. And I want to get this term or this expression. So it's the same exactly, but here only xy, and in the formula it's 2xy. So this means this one on top, it will equal x plus y all to the power 2, I mean to this one, minus xy, correct? Because here it's 2xy, okay? I will explain it again, just 1 second. X plus y to the power 2 equals x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. So now I want to get x squared plus y here, and this required. Okay, so I'm going to subtract xy from the two sides, minus xy. So this means x squared, x plus y, all to the power 2 minus xy will equal x squared. 2xy minus xy means plus xy plus y squared, which is the required here. So this means now x squared plus xy plus y squared, which is the last requirement in this question, will equal x plus y squared minus xy. Yes. Okay, now go ahead. So this means I'm going to clear this one and write it again from the beginning. X squared plus xy plus y squared, which is the required. Okay, it will equal x plus y to the power 2 minus xy. Okay, so x plus y to the power 2, which is that one which we got its value right now since 2 minutes, it was 20. Okay, then minus xy. Xy means this one times this one. So square root of 5 plus 3 times square root of 5 minus, square root of 3 minus square root of 3. So it will equal 20 minus first squared 5 minus second squared 3. So it will equal 20 minus 2, which is equal 18. That's it. Okay, guys? Okay, guys, let's solve the next question. If x equal 3 over 2 square root of 5 minus square root of 5, 2 square root of 2 minus the square root of 5, and y equals 2 square root of 2 plus or minus in the question. No, it was minus the square root of 5. Find x squared minus y squared. Okay. As usual, guys, first step, we will simplify x and y. Y actually in the simplest form. So we have to simplify x. X will equal 3 over 2 square root of 2 minus square root of 5. Then to simplify this one, multiply it by the denominator conjugate. So 2 square root of 5 plus 2 square root of 5 or 2 square root of 2 plus square root of 5 over 2 square root of 2 plus square root of 5. So it will equal 3 times 2 square root of 2 plus square root of 5 over first term squared, 2 square root of 2 squared. So the 2 becomes 4 and the square root of 2 will be 2. 4 times 2, 8 minus square root of 5 to the power 2 means 5. So now 3 times 2 square root of 2 plus square root of 5 over 3. Simply now terminate 3 and the 3. So it will equal 2 square root of 2 plus square root of 5. Okay, so this is the simplest form for x. Now x will equal 2 square root of 2 plus square root of 5. Now get the requirement in this question. Actually, the required in this question, we want to get x squared minus y squared. So x squared minus y squared. One of us maybe he will square the value of x like that, this x to the power 2, then minus y also to the power 2. But actually, there is a general form, guys. X squared minus y squared, do you remember? It's x minus y times x plus y, correct? Two brackets and the difference between them and the middle sign. So it will equal the first squared minus second squared. So x minus y times x plus y equal x squared minus y squared. So now it's very easy. X minus y, it will be like that. 2 square root of 2 plus square root of 5 minus y 2 square root of 2 minus square root of 5, so plus square root of 5. So this is x minus y times x plus y, 2 square root of 2 plus square root of 5 plus 2 square root of 2 minus square root of 5. Now, the first bracket, we are going to simplify it. 2 square root of 2 minus 2 square root of 2, 0. Square root of 5, 2 square root of 5 times the second bracket. 2 square root of 2 plus 2 square root of 2, 4 square root of 2. And then square root of 5 minus square root of 5, 0. So just to multiply these two terms, 12 equal 2 times 4 means 8. Square root of 5 times the square root of 2 is square root of 10. So it will equal 8 square root of 10. Actually, that was the last question of this lesson. Hopefully, all of you understood this one very well.